Okay, so as the description says, I decided to show off a new build idea I have. Said build is just an early game intelligence hybrid, utilizing mainly the Sword of St. Trina. And to show it off, I made 3 characters. One that's named Griffin, who started out as a prisoner. One named Indy, who is an astrologer. I named him after Indiana Jones. And one named Castor, who is a vagabond. So, out of all of these, Indy and Griffin are the most, like, the prisoner and the... Well, the prisoner is the best equipped for this, because he can use the weapon in question right off the bat. The main weapon for this build is the Sword of St. Trina. The whole point of it is just using the weapon art of the Sword of St. Trina to knock enemies unconscious. I also dropped some weapons from a different account over here. Well, actually I spawned them in using a code editor, but same difference. I just wanted to compare the different weapons for this guy. So here I have the Glintstone staff that he starts out with, and here's a Demi-Human Queen staff. Much better for his current level. So anyway, the whole meat and potatoes of this is to just knock out enemies using the Mist of Slumber weapon art, and then just wailing on them with it. And since this weapon scales with intelligence, a class like the prisoner or the astrologer is perfect for it. Personally, I prefer the astrologer just because you have more options when it comes to magic right off the bat, but that doesn't mean that you can't start out with the prisoner. The only negative about using the astrologer is that you have less strength than what is ideal to use this, but an easy way to go around it. Again, I used a code editor to spawn in a piece of armor that gave me 2 strength, but instead I feel it would just be easier to make your way over to the Weeping Peninsula and get the Radigan Star Seal and use that, as it gives +3 to each of your offensive stats. But as you can see though, the build is exactly the same. Use Sword of St. Trina to knock out the enemies and then deliver a finishing blow. I just realized something, even though I don't have the strength needed to use it, I could use it properly if I wield it in both hands, so that works. I also made a variant of this using the Vagabond, but the Vagabond is like one of the not as ideal classes for this, because the Vagabond only starts out with 9 intelligence. Just gonna pass through the Bridge of Sacrifice. I have a Stone Sword key, it'll come in handy for later. Okay, now rest up at the site of Grace to kill the heat that's on you from these enemies. Considering that you only need 10 strength to use the Sword of St. Trina, I could just easily give myself 2 strength when I level up. So there we go. Might as well also give myself 10 in each of these. Intelligence and Arcane really isn't a good combination. I'm just gonna skip that. Over there's Arena. Sleep is very good against a lot of enemies in the early game. Against humans, not so much, but against some humanoids like the, I don't know if it'll work well against the mystery dog, but I know that against most humanoid enemies like the Mad Pumpkin Head, against trolls, against most humanoid enemies, it works out very well. What intelligence do you need this for? So I would need 5 points of intelligence to use this with the Vagabond, for example. I still hold to the idea that the Vagabond is one of the better starting classes, because even though he only has 9 points in intelligence and faith, you can easily bump that up slightly to use the basic magic. Use any of the basic magics that you want. This is even effective against enemies that are on horseback, as long as you use Mists of Slumber to give your weapon the sleep buff. As long as it has a soporific coating, as it's called, because it's the same effect as soporific grease. Then you can use it to knock out most enemies, and it's especially effective against bosses like the Godskins. For whatever reason, the Godskins are very susceptible. Just hoping that one of these drops their weapon. And yeah, although it's cheating, I gave myself a copy of the Demi-Human Queen staff just compared to the Astrologer staff. It's better than both of the starting classes to this point in the game. As long as you have less than 40 intelligence, Demi-Human Queen staff will outperform literally anything. Also, while an enemy is fully unconscious with sleep, you can go in and immediately get critical, which is useful. So that's like the main meat and potatoes of this build. Just go in with Sword of Saint Trina, knock enemies out, and go ape shit on them. There's some enemies that are weak to magic, like the Earthly Guardian. Tree Guardians are strong against holy by nature, but I think they're weaker to fire and magic. So yeah, for a quick start to this, go with the Prisoner. For a decently quick start, go with the Astrologer. And for one that has the most survivability early on, but needs the most investment, go with the Vagabond. The thing about this is that you really can't go wrong. But before I activate the fight against the Hero of Zamar, let me go and activate the grace that is over in this cathedral. I have no idea if sleep works with physical night, but at the very least, the magic damage you do is good against them overall. Nice. Sworn Straight Sword, excellent. Sworn Straight Sword is possibly the best early game sword you can get. Considering that it has a higher than average critical modifier. I wish you could use that ghostly flash step to be fast to use. So, this is also a good area to farm for. Oh, this place is also a pretty good area to farm for. Not just the Lord Sworn equipment, but just for what I would consider to be the most balanced form of the soldier armor. Curious to see if this bastard is susceptible to sleep. And if he's not, then I'll just stick to using normal sorceries against him. But yeah, for the Hero of Zamar, you need to use a Stone Sword Key to access him. Not like that's a problem. I broke even on the Stone Sword Keys that I used. So yeah, let's just see if sleep works against this bastard. Coding works well. The only problem with the Hero of Zamar is that he uses ice magic, and in this game, ice is associated with the magic element. And he killed me. Wonderful. But hey, at the very least, sleep seems to work well against him. Thankfully, there's a Stake America right here, so if you end up dying to him, it's not the end of the world. Just try again. What other weapon could I try using? I could try using the Lord Sworn Straight Sword. I actually have enough strength to use it, so that means I could try peppering him with magic and then smacking him with the sword. Strength does this need again? Oh yeah, I gave myself 2 strength already. But in case you don't want to invest in strength, you can always just... In case you don't want to invest in strength, you could always just wield them both hands if you wish. Yeah, and he killed me, never mind, forget the ring. But yeah, long and short of it is, you just need 2 points of strength to do this with a sorcerer. You need, you have the stats needed to use this already with the prisoner, and you just need 2 points, or you need 5 points of intelligence to use this as the vagabond. I would say if you want to go with this right off the bat, use the prisoner. And if not, use the... And if you want to go with the second most viable route, go with the astrologer. And if all else fails, you could always try going at it with a job that's mildly suboptimal for this, and you'll do pretty well, like the warrior or the vagabond. But yeah, if a DLC comes out, I may try using a build like this against the enemies in the DLC. But anyway, I'm going to go back to Mt Gelmir now. Give me a moment and I'll revert the save file. So I'm just going to move it over to BRB. Okay, back in the round table. So now I know where to go in the Volcano Manor from the Church of Eagle A. So in the Temple of Eagle A, just take the elevator up, and you go out through the terrace. An enemy here that's pretty tough is the is an abductor virgin that's up here, but don't worry about her. I mean, I still hold to the idea that a vagabond is the best starting class because you have enough strength and dexterity to use just about any starting weapon that the game throws at you. You have almost enough faith to try using any of the magics that are available. So yeah, there are some shinies here. Curled Finger Remedy. I wish you could use those to make a rune arc. That would be very useful. I digress. Anyway, there is an abductor virgin here. My advice for her, try fighting her if you're insane enough to do so. Oh, I don't have any weapon to use with lightning. Shit. I hate that kid can swing with the bow. Already, Jesus. Go. Well, I'm gonna switch out the Cross Naginata for the for any of these sides. Out of all of them, Halo Scythe is better for this situation because there are a lot of man serpents here. I forgot that you need a weapon with quick step. One of these has quick step as an ability, but okay, the Earth Steel Dagger does. Backstepping off the platform works too. Umbersmithing Stone 5, excellent. And now up here, there's a ladder. Pick it up. Be careful when it comes to fighting the man serpents. The reason why I recommend using a scythe is because they have bully build-up and good poise damage. There are 3 of these serpentine bastards here. I'm going to put on the silver fear mask. There are also civilians here. When you strike them, they explode into a mass of poison. Be wary of that. I don't know why they explode into a massive poison. Maybe the man serpents were experimenting with poison. Toxic armament. Try using them in their war effort. Commoner's headband with a call. Okay. I prefer the one without the call, but whatever. It's a strange piece of equipment to find here, but whatever. Try to abuse criticals to kill as many of these guys as possible. And as you saw there, the man serpents here use the burning variant of the magma curve sword. So if you want to farm them for their equipment, this is the best place to do it. Since there's one right there, one over here, and one over by the elevator that you use as a shortcut. You're more likely to have volcanic stones though, so temper your expectations. Add Albanor here. And over here is an elevator that connects you to the Temple of Eagle Eye. I'll show where that connects to in a moment, but for right now, I'll take out these manservants and see what they got. So far, nothing of use. Well, before I continue on ahead, might as well show where that lift connects to. There's a little hidden balcony up there. As you can see, there's a small room here. And here is where the elevator was. Right out here into the side entrance. Oh fuck. Well, now I get to show the easiest way to farm for that weapon. Actually, I think that one there doesn't even use the sword. I think that one uses the whip. I'll have to let him get close to me to check. Velvet mixed with the silver mask now means that I can farm pretty effectively here. I think that one over there uses the whip. You can't farm the whip, you can normally farm the sword off of them. The whip is a reward for one of the NPC quests. That quest for patches after assassinating 2 people for the Volcano Manor. You can start doing custom assassinations for the guild mates. One of them being patches. Yeah, that one uses the whip. Never mind, you can't farm him for the weapon. You can farm the other two for the weapon, though. I'd recommend you do so. And nothing. Oh well. Not the end of the world. But yeah, Miko's Ring of Light is very useful for the man serpents here because they're pretty susceptible to holy damage. And they also... nothing of value here. And it's also recommended to take them out from a distance. Looks like one of the side rooms of the Volcano Manor. He's a poison killed me. Okay. That's what I get for being arrogant. Not the end of the world. Just have to start again. Hopefully I can get one copy of the Magma Blade from these guys. Use a rune arc. My recommendations for rune arcs, if you find it hard to do PvP, is to I mean, not so much hard to do it, but just hard to find people to engage in matches with. Just use the Elden Ring save manager, and use the item duplication feature to give yourself some rune arcs. Works. Silver Pickle Alpha to see if I can get the item that I want. The big difference when it comes to the Halo Scythe or the Winged Scythe is just what kind of weapon art you're looking for. If you want something that can function as a ranged weapon that can take the place of a magic, go with the Halo Scythe, because Miko's Ring of Light is a projectile and deals pretty good holy damage. And if you want a weapon that gives you pretty good hyper armor, then go with the Winged Scythe. But they both work well. It's really the only big difference between the two. Its moveset. Of the magma bubble. Which... Wow, these guys are not dropping shit. That sucks. Well, whatever. Well, my mom came back with some groceries. I'm gonna put her on BRB for a moment. Saudi Olympic capture stuff. Okay, well, I'm gonna wrap up the stream here. Come next time, I'll explore more of the Volcano Manor. Anyone who's watching this on YouTube and you enjoy this, by all means, leave a like. Or if you dislike it, leave a dislike. That's perfectly fine too, as it shows where I need to improve shit. So until next time, I hope you have a good day. Terminating the stream now.